Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Banks may be proficient in managing your finances, but are they equally competent at managing client data? Next time you're denied a loan, you might want to request the bank to rectify their records. Take a look on how to avoid becoming a defaulter by default.
Murali's application to a private bank for an education loan for his son was rejected on the grounds that he was a defaulter on a previous loan. He was shocked to see the records that showed pending dues after the loan has been repaid. Well, a mix of records was found to be the cause.
My son has to go for a higher education and higher education abroad, and now I have a feeling, because the name is there in CIBIL, whether my loan will get sanctioned or not. How the future is hanging on this particular thing. Though I got the details and other thing, how the bankers are going to view is the one really bothering me.
The mix-up of loan records of banks was traced to the Credit Information Bureau of India, or CIBIL, which maintains a database of borrowers and their repayment history. It is believed this agency does not carry out proper checks and verification, leading to the mix-up of records. Activists say banks should share the blame.
They should act more proactively. They should update information with CIBIL on a regular basis. Similarly, as far as CIBIL is concerned, they should actually ensure that the information, the data stored by them is correct.
But consumers are also advised to keep proper records of repayment of the money they borrow from banks. You can also log on to www.cibil.com/accesscredit.htm to check your credit details with CIBIL. In Chennai, Bertila, NDTV Hindu.
On to some international news. New front in the war on terror may have opened in primary school. A family of Indian origin in Ohio learned that their 6-year-old daughter is on Homeland Security's terror watch list when they attempted to make a flight from Cleveland to Minneapolis. A ticket agent informed Santosh Thomas that his daughter Alisa was on the list.
According to the United States Homeland Security Department, this 6-year-old girl of Indian origin, Alisa Thomas, is as dangerous as Osama bin Laden or maybe Ayman al-Zawahiri. Well, even more dangerous than the one-eyed Mullah Omar. That's because Alisa is on the terror watch list in the United States.
They said, well, she's on a list. We're like, okay, what's the story? What do we have to do to get off the list? That's not exactly the list we want to be on.
A major embarrassment for the United States, though. Questions being raised over the criteria being used to draw up such lists. The Homeland Security yet to admit Alisa's name cropped up by mistake.
She's been flying since she was 2 months old, so that has not been an issue. In fact, we had traveled to Mexico in February, and there were no issues at that time.
My Barbie, my Magic Man, and jumping in my bed.
Alisa and her family might be laughing off the incident, but underneath a clear indication that paranoia has gotten the better of reason in the United States intelligence setup. Bureau Report, NDTV Hindu.
Well, time now for a business update, and Prashant gets us a quick recap of how the markets did today.
Strong start for the market, back above 5,300 and within striking distance of taking out the previous high. Nifty started out slow, stayed slow for most parts, saw a bit of nervousness post-1, but the last 60 minutes were quite fruitful for bulls, ended up 1.25% at about 5,333. Global cues were quite okay. Asia, well, a couple of markets were down, but most were up. European markets, well, they're all up about 1% or so, so we went up as well. Reliance Communication and GTL Infrastructure, RCOM is back above 200. GTL Infrastructure at about 47 or so at close. Big deal announced on Saturday. Stock should be in focus over the next couple of odd days as more and more news starts to come in. Oil is the other pack. If you thought Friday's gains were it, think again. Today was a big move up. Once again, not for all. HP moved up big time, 8%. IOC, BP, lesser so. Gains are tapering off now. ONGC ended up, Reliance I'm going to come to in a bit. GAIL ended lower for the second straight day. So it's not as if everything is moving up 8-12 like Friday. There probably is differentiation there. But nevertheless, good day again for the entire complex as such, the oil complex. Sugar, something surely is going on there. Bajaj, Hindustan, Balrampur, Dwarikesh, no decision out of the group of ministers meeting last week. But the market seems to be excited about the fact that production probably will fall a little short compared to what was earlier anticipated. Reliance, the big boy, left off at about 1,088. Good move, but the fact is it needs to move above the 1,150, 1,200 mark for some real conviction players to come back into this one, which is perhaps the most widely owned stock. Mid-cap action, Aban Offshore. Morgan seems to have changed its stance. For whatever it's worth, it came out with a report to sell one a couple of months back, and the stock slid after that, which was basically just after the rig got destroyed. The stock's back to about 790. Crompton, Punj Lloyd, Aurobindo. Punj Lloyd made a move up for the second straight day as well at 134. There again, some sell-side brokers are turning their stance. Breadth of the market looked good, and overall things were quite okay. Futures ended off at a premium. 53.42 is a lower top in April, which was made not very far away. 53.66 is last week's highest point, which is the more important number to track on the higher side is when we come back. Global cues obliging, we probably should be able to take it out quite easily. And of course, 53.99 is the last 52-week high, which you need to keep an eye out on if you are bullish on this market. But it's back just to tracking global cues after a strong start to this week.
Right, now imagine the prospect of losing a coveted medical seat due to official apathy. Faced with this possibility, a tribal student has had to knock the doors of the Madras High Court to get something as basic as a community certificate. A furious division bench has summoned the Revenue Divisional Officer of Virupuram. Our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed reports on the insensitivity of government babus.
It's been quite an obstacle course for Prakash to realize his dream of becoming a doctor. The first hurdle, fighting social stigma that unfortunately goes with his tribal status. Then came fierce competition, which he beat, notching up an impressive total of 1,107 marks in his +2 exam. But the third impediment, a simple community certificate, has been eluding him for over 2 years. With time running out, as his counselling for medicine is slated for Friday at Kilpauk Medical College, Prakash finally took the legal route.
நான் மலைக்குறை இனத்தை சேர்ந்தவன் ஐயா. நாங்கள் பாட்டனாரெல்லாம் மலை கல்வாய் மலையில் இருந்தாங்க ஆரம்பத்தில். எங்களுக்கு சர்டிஃபிகேட் கொடுக்காத காலதாமம் பண்ணி தான் எங்களுக்கு பையனுடைய வாழ்க்கையை கொடுத்துருக்காங்க சார்.
The Madras High Court has given Prakash hope. The judges have pulled up the RDO for not even complying with the legal requirement of filing a counter and have asked the official to explain the inertia in person on Wednesday.
நீதிபதிகள் வந்து கடுமையான கோபத்துக்கு ஆளாகி 30ஆம் தேதி வந்து ஆர்டிஓ நேரடியாக ஆஜராகி தகுந்த விளக்கம் கொடுக்கணும். அதோட இவ்வளவு நாள் ஏன் காலதாமதம் ஆச்சுன்றதுக்கான தகுந்த விளக்கம் வந்து ஓபன் கோர்ட்ல வந்து அவங்க சொல்லணும் அப்படினு சொல்லிட்டு பை ஆர்டர் உத்தரவு போட்டுருக்காங்க.
Timely judicial intervention, that was just what the doctor ordered. In Chennai with Peer Mohammed, Sanjay Pinto, NDTV Hindu.
Shocking apathy there from the RDO in Virupuram. Time for a short break, but on the other side, table tennis has fresh follows in Chennai.